All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. This is Lauren with Devoted Heart Yoga. This is your Monday awareness upgrade. So I'm going live every Monday at 11 a.m. to give you a little inspiration, a little prompt, a little task for the week to upgrade your awareness. So to become more aware of yourself and your life so that you can understand how to make little changes, maybe big changes, in order to be who you want to be and create what you want to create in your life. So we've talked about so far just what is awareness, the architecture of understanding yourself. Last week I talked about speaking in the affirmative, so affirmation and speaking in the affirmative. So I'm curious if anybody's here or if anybody watches the replay, what was your affirmation last week, and did you practice speaking in the affirmative? So as opposed to saying what you don't want, something that you're avoiding, actually talking about what you do want. Okay, so it's kind of like reformatting, reframing things a little bit so that you're constantly aligning yourself with what you want to create. So any reflections on that, I would love to hear. Drop in the comments or feel free to message me. This week's topic is about getting out of your comfort zone. Getting out of your comfort zone. So this is something I think about a lot, and this is also inspired by the beginning of my Live Your Yoga 13-week transformation that begins tomorrow. And so in order to transform, we get to do uncomfortable things. We get to do hard things and get out of our comfort zone. So my program is designed to give you little tasks, little prompts to apply yoga philosophy and mindset and ethics and practices into your real life. So not just yoga on the mat or not just meditation on your cushion or whatever it is that you do that is you consider your practice. And it doesn't have to be yoga. It could be exercise or whatever you do to kind of sharpen your mind and body. So not only doing that in those particular situations or in those classes or whatever, but also applying mindfulness and awareness to your entire life. So giving you little tasks to transform, to become more aware and get out of your comfort zone. So there's that, I think there's that quote that says, life begins at the edge of your comfort zone. So that's where we get to really feel alive when we're doing something that, is a little bit uncomfortable, a little challenging. So we get to notice, so there's big things, we think of things like, skydiving or public speaking. People tend to be really afraid of talking in front of other people. So those might be like big tasks or big things that come to mind, but also just in your everyday life, what is uncomfortable for you, or what do you avoid? What do you avoid doing in order to not feel something that might feel uncomfortable or undesirable? So let's just feel into that for a moment and take a few breaths. You can keep your eyes closed. You can keep your eyes open or close them. Welcome, Lindsay and Austin. Anyone who's tuning on Facebook, feel free to drop a comment, say hello so I can say hello to you. But we're just tuning into things in our everyday life or everyday our world that we might avoid or might make us uncomfortable. So just breathing into that. And I'm going to share a couple of things that come up for me. So I notice a tendency in myself sometimes to want to, they say, ask for forgiveness rather than permission. So things that I'm not sure if I'm supposed to do, if I'm allowed to do, I might be, I might not be, but it feels scary to ask for permission, because then I have to look at, what might the other person say? What am I afraid of? I find that I'm uncomfortable with the idea of being in a confrontational situation, or me expressing that I want something and then someone else telling me that it's not okay, and then like feeling the feelings that come up with that sort of resistance. So that's something that I notice for myself that's outside of my comfort zone. But a lot of times a lot of times we project our fears onto other people, or we assume things about other people. So, you might have had a situation before where you were really worried about talking to someone about something or asking someone for something. And then when you finally did it, it was like not a big deal. And you realize that a lot of the stuff around that you might have made up. So that's an example for me. And I think that maybe other people can relate to making assumptions and projecting our fears onto someone else. So if you have an example, I'd love to hear. Please share so that we can connect with one another. And then another thing that's coming up for me that I notice that's outside of my comfort zone that's making me uncomfortable lately is going to events by myself. And especially, so I've been salsa dancing. For those of you that don't know, I started salsa dancing almost like a year and a half ago by now. And now there's these events, these salsa socials to go to. And if like I have a friend to go with me and kind of, metaphorically hold my hand to feel like I have someone to show up with, then I'll go. But if it feels like I'm going by myself, I'm going to be meeting a bunch of people, or just, I don't know, having to ask people to dance, or just, I don't know. Yeah, just like showing up by myself somewhere feels kind of out of my comfort zone, and it's a little bit scary. And so I avoid it. Lindsay said, I don't like going to events by myself either. I get so insecure. Yeah, thank you for sharing. And so on the one hand, I really want to get better at dancing, and I really want to put myself out there. I want to ask men to dance, I don't know, whatever, but that feels really scary. So, and my teacher, maybe he's watching, hello. My teacher has called me out on this many times that I don't go to enough events, I don't practice enough, I don't go to socials, And on the one hand, I can make a million excuses. Oh, I'm busy. Oh, it's winter. It's cold. I'm tired. Blah, blah, blah. All the excuses that we make. But on the other hand, there's actually some layers underneath of that I'm avoiding. That I don't feel confident in my dancing. I feel weird about asking men to dance because maybe they should ask me to dance. And it's not that they won't, but just like negotiating this social dynamic that feels new and uncomfortable for me. So what's up with that? So I've been challenging myself to try to overcome that, and I want to go out dancing regardless of if I know anyone who's close to me who's going. So we'll see. So I'd love to hear if there's anything that you notice lately in your life that's out of your comfort zone, and maybe you faced it, maybe you're going to face it, maybe you notice that you're actively avoiding it. And what I like to talk about in my Live Your Yoga transformation program, and just in general, is the idea that regardless of whether you do the thing or not, regardless of whether you face your fears, there's still a big learning opportunity in understanding what the fear is about. Like, why am I avoiding it? What are all these excuses that I'm coming up with about, and what is it really about? The fact that I'm not doing whatever this thing is. Like, how do I see myself? What am I afraid of? What am I afraid of feeling? Am I afraid of feeling lonely, self-conscious, not confident, whatever, just like uncomfortable in various ways? So there might be as much transformation available to me in just witnessing and learning those patterns and those kind of underpinnings of what I do or don't do than if I even do the thing, right? We can think about, and we can apply this to all different things. Skydiving, if you feel like, you don't want to go skydiving, are you afraid of heights? Are you afraid of doing something new? Like, are you afraid of signing up for something? Like what's really going on there? So I'd love to hear you share, and we'll check back in about this at the end of the week. But considering the things that make you uncomfortable then gives you the kind of the fire element. There's a yogic principle called tapas that's about burning through the impurities. So doing uncomfortable things gives you the opportunity to burn through the impurities of your own consciousness. So instead of just relying on, I'm tired, I'm lazy, it's winter, blah, 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 like, what is this really about? And then regardless of what you actually choose to do, you have the consciousness around your life and your actions. So that's our Monday awareness upgrade. And you get to apply this to your week. Let's see what Lindsay said. I'm afraid of making phone calls for work to make connections. I get in my head that I'm not smart enough. Yep, I hear ya. And we can talk more about that, Lindsay. I've learned a lot about reaching out to people in the process of being a freelance yoga teacher and promoting my classes and my programs, and thinking that, oh, I'm not, stuff comes up around I'm not good enough, or people don't care, or whatever. And in getting out of my comfort zone and going for it anyway, I've really learned that that's actually something that I made up. My cat is destroying something. I don't even know what it is. But a lot of it is stuff that we made up based on our own stuff. So we can continue to explore that throughout the week. So we'll close with a little bit of just breathing and meditative moments. And then we'll check in next week. I don't know what this cat is doing, but let's close our eyes or not, just soften. And sometimes we take on these discomforts and resistance in the body. So maybe moving a little cat-cow, arching and rounding the spine, moving the shoulders, and opening your heart to your own experience. Opening your heart to your own experience. So whatever it is that makes you uncomfortable, it's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to do and also to not do the things that make you uncomfortable. But the power, I think, and I feel, is understanding the why. So is there an invitation that I've received that I've constantly turned down? Is there something that I've avoided? Is there something that I know would benefit me, but I just can't seem to bring myself to do it? What is the discomfort there? And what is that about? And opening your heart to your experience and any wisdom, anything that comes through. And bringing your hands to your heart. Just witnessing once again with love, with compassion. So there's nothing wrong with anything that you feel or think, but it may or may not be the truth. So noticing your willingness to face yourself, to understand your discomforts, and transform into the next level of awareness and of being fully you. Let's take a deep breath, inhaling, and exhale. Let the eyes open if they're closed. Thank you, everyone. This has been the Monday Awareness Upgrade. If you're interested in my Live Your Yoga program, we start tomorrow, so send me a message. We can connect. And yeah, write your comments, share anything you noticed this week, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.